Hi, I'm Jana Short, and welcome to Health Influencers Presents Talks with the Experts. 4 times a year, we give you more personal view of some incredible experts, health and wellness educators, and global influencers through these live interviews. Tonight, I'm over the moon proud to bring you this expert, Dr. D from Ask Dr. D. She's a board-certified doctor of natural medicine and becoming quite the global influencer, focusing on women's health and holistic hormone balance. Oh, and she's my youngest daughter, so a super proud moment for me. Thank you, Dr. D, for joining us today. I'm so excited to have you here talking about all this new stuff that you're sharing with us.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to kind of educate a little bit too.
Well, I like to keep these interviews like little short bite-sized yummy pieces that people can take away. So do you mind if I start asking you some of the questions what we've been getting for you?
Yeah, of course.
So I know your personal journey, but this question is, why did you decide to become a doctor of natural medicine instead of something more traditional?
So I was actually on the route to be a traditional doctor. I was in school and I was triple major, lots of stress, and I got really sick. And I noticed that, you do exactly what you're trained to do. I went to my doctor and I kept getting the same runaround. I would wait like hours just to see my doctor. I would spend less than 5 minutes with them and I come home with like 6 different prescriptions. And I kept playing that game until I got to the point where I knew after a year, I was like, I'm still in the same place. If nothing else, I'm worse. And I got into doing my first taste, my gateway to holistic options was through acupuncture. And it was for shoulder pain because I'd start to lose feeling in my left shoulder, which those of you who don't know, that's a huge red flag that something else is going on. And that was it. It sold me. I was a total skeptic going in. And when I left, I was just blown away. And then I knew that my mom was struggling with her health and she had had a similar story. And the more people I talked to, the more I found that I was definitely not alone. And I felt like it wasn't the doctor's fault per se, because I'd been going to school to be a doctor. I knew that we don't get much education on nutrition. And when we do get any information on nutrition or herbs or anything like that, it's what to avoid when taking X prescription. It was nothing like, oh, let me tell you about all of the amazing benefits that you can get for eating like an apple. So I I'm definitely glad I went this route. It was a horribly long and at times excruciating journey, but it was well worth it.
Well, I'm glad to have a doctor of natural medicine in the family. As a matter of
Oh,
fact, I've
cool.
had two natural doctors or doctors of natural medicine in the family. So really proud moment for me. So I know that you like to focus on hormones because of your personal journey. And one of the things we share with people when we're talking is that our personal journeys, like they kind of dictated our burning desire to do the things that we do. And what drew you to focusing on hormones?
So my biggest thing is when I was younger, it was like everything hit a wall. I was always really fit. I was super skinny when I was young, and I had all this unknown energy. And then as soon as I hit puberty, it was like a light switch went off, and I was always sick. I didn't want to do anything. My hormones were all over the place. My face would break out all the time, and it was like these extreme, I call them zitzillas. My little brother makes fun of me about it all the time. They're like those moments that you wish you could just erase from your memory type of deal from high school. And I noticed when I got older, I still had those things happening. And I thought, you shouldn't have wrinkles and acne in your 30s. And it turns out it was all about my hormones. Everything boiled down to my hormones, my digestive issues. At the end of the day, it was all just right there in front of my face. And it
Or on your face?
on my face, in my face, everywhere. So, It was definitely an eye-opening moment. And I noticed that once I started to kind of balance out my hormones and be really mindful about what I put into my body, it was like a night and day difference.
So Dr. D's been taking us on this hormone journey through in Health Influencers Mastermind. She's been posting every week. She picks a hormone to educate us on, tell us like good things to feed that hormone to help keep it in balance. But the question that I've had people ask me to ask you is, tell us 3 things we don't already know about our hormones that we should be really aware of.
Okay, so the first one that most people don't get is they are absolutely all interconnected. So if one is off, it's a cascading effect or dominoes, and it takes everybody else out on that chain. So it is something that is constantly fluctuating, and you play this game of, it's like a teeter-totter of your whole life, just trying to balance everything back together. And when you don't focus on doing what you need to as far as nutrition or anything like that, it just keeps snowballing and growing and growing. Another big thing is the amazing changes you can have in little to no time. We're talking like 30 days. And it all comes down to what you're putting in your body. You are literally setting yourself up to either succeed or fail. And then the last one, I would say, gosh, just how many hormones there really are. You guys have no idea. I could do this little 1 week dedication to a hormone highlight. Gosh, I would say at least for a year, a solid year of just hormone highlights. And everything interacts with them. And it's so weird to see how just like your body trying to do what it is designed to do, the way we're putting things in as far as artificial foods, like artificial sweeteners or processed foods, your body reacts to it as if it is an absolute foe. So it'll wrap it up in fat. Nobody wants that. And it like sticks it in the back because it doesn't know what to do with it. If you aren't recognizing the food on your ingredients list, your body won't either. Or at least probably won't.
That's a good tip. I'm going to ask you a question that you don't know I'm going to ask you, because I hear this a lot when I'm talking about hormones and I'm telling them how great you are at educating on hormones and balancing them out. But people are like, that's just for women.
No. That's like saying only women have that time of the month. Dudes do too. Everyone has that fluctuation. And you'll notice that just like women syncing up, guys sync up too. So if you find that you tend to be a little more, let's say, irritable during that time of the month, and your spouse tends to lean that way too, it's because you guys are all syncing up. Yes, their hormones are different and they're going to have different reactions to those hormone levels, but you're still getting the same type of a scenario.
Well, that's good to know. So I can tell the men I know that we're just syncing up if we're both.
They have estrogen too. So
I love it.
Have testosterone.
I love it. Okay, so the next question I have for you that we keep getting asked is, how do I know if I have an issue with my hormones? What do I look for?
Great question. So unfortunately, due to the fact that there are thousands of hormones, it is really hard for me to say like, oh, just look out for this one thing. There are so many signs and symptoms. I would suggest, number one, learn about your hormones. So if you sign up for Health Influencers Mastermind, you're going to get some education on different hormones. Every Sunday, I go over those signs and symptoms of what to look out for that tell you, hey, there's something off with this hormone. I'll put out quizzes so that you can kind of gauge where you're at on your own hormones. You can do tests. Again, because your hormones are going to constantly change, it is going to be a lifelong battle. But if I've done my job right, I will be teaching you what to look out for and how to avoid those pitfalls and how to succeed so that you're not setting yourself up to fail.
When Dr. D talks about health influencers join up, it's a free group. It's a free group for clients to come in, or or people with questions and learn from the experts and the health influencers. We have them in all, as a matter of fact, each expert has to be in a different field. So we have them in all different fields. They go into the group, they get educated, they get free material, they get to meet their experts that they can connect with and go over problems with. So it's free to you. You can just click the link and go into Health Influencers Mastermind and get to know some of our experts. So last, what would be the one tip you'd want to let your clients know about hormones? Like one amazing tip we can walk away with and actually do right now.
The best tip I can give you for anything in general is your knowledge is power. And the more you know, the better advocate you can be for yourself and focus on your nutrition. At the end of the day, what you're putting into your body directly determines what you're able to get out of it. So if you're only putting in crap, all you're getting out is crap. So just make sure that the foods you are eating are whole foods. You want them to be as natural as possible. If you don't recognize something as a food, your body won't either.
That is a really good tip. Thank you, Dr. D. You know what? First of all, I love that you're sharing that education is power, because I agree with you. I've raised you guys to know that the more you know, the more you're able to advocate for yourself and to take better care of yourself. And for instance, Dr. D told us at the very beginning how this was a big, long journey for her. She was in regular medical school, and then something occurred in her life that sent her on a journey to be searching for more holistic options. And then she decided to become a doctor of natural medicine. She didn't do that overnight. And you're not going to learn everything about your hormones overnight. I can promise you, with all the years of education, I happen to know how many years that was as her mom. But after all the years of education she's still learning, because we're evolving. We keep learning more and more about our incredible bodies. So I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Learn one at a time. And just start, what can I do to get my body in more optimal health, working with this one hormone that I'm going to learn really well. And then pretty soon, the next thing you know, you're a doctor of natural medicine talking about hormones to the world. Where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
So luckily on all my social media platforms have the same handle. It's Ask Dr. D DNM, because I'm a doctor of natural medicine. You can also find me in the Health Influencers Mastermind. And I'm also on, I have my website, AskDrD.com. And you can also find a lot of the articles I write. I will put in Best Holistic Life, which is another option so that you can get a little more education and just learn one new thing every day.
So I love Dr. D's blogs, because one, she blogs for my site, which is awesome because I love her and I hold it over her head. But she blogs for my site at Best Holistic Life, and so do a lot of the other experts. But Dr. D's blogs get 5,000 or 6,000 hits. That's how phenomenal they are. So if you want to learn more about your hormones, you can just pop over to Best Holistic Life. And not only that, we have other experts on there that are talking about other areas of health and wellness. And the experts that I pick, I search really hard to find these experts. They are not selling a product. They are show up experts that literally show up for their clients. Their clients have amazing success rate, and they agree to come here and do this with me to share with you. So I would take the time to get to know them. They're pretty awesome. And I feel like so blessed to be surrounded by them. So thank you so much, Dr. D, for connecting with us. You can reach her on Ask Dr. D. That's her website. I think all her social media is Ask Dr. D.
Ask Dr. D DNM.
DNM. So I don't know how to
Dr. D's out there.
There are a lot of Dr. D's out there. So thank you guys so much. We like to keep these short and just give you a little bite about these great experts we have coming in. If you have any questions for Dr. D, you can definitely catch her at Health Influencers Mastermind or at Ask Dr. D, or you can go read about some of her blogs on Best Holistic Life. Thank you.
Bye.